안녕하세요, 초호입니다. Hi, this is Choho. It's been a while. I want to do a little bit of a haul of my Japan trip. This is my 2025 Japan trip. I visited Sapporo. If you don't know where Sapporo is, it's in the most northern part of Japan. And I went in March of 2025. I didn't get to do as much stationery shopping as I wanted to in Japan because I did a little too much when skiing and then did so much. But I won't do a deep dive into these pens because I want to do a separate video on them. And then when I make that separate video, I'll also make a separate video with these new inks. I've never actually tried it, so we'll see how that goes. Let's go over the obligatory stickers. Ta-da! I feel like I always get it when I go to Japan. This is a must. So if you see here, I didn't get as many as before, but I chose the ones that I think have more usage to it. The first thing is the cherry blossoms. Ironically, I went to a place where there wasn't any flowers blooming just yet. If I went to like Kyoto or Osaka, Tokyo, anywhere actually south of Hokkaido, I probably would have been blessed with beautiful cherry blossoms, but I chose to go to Sapporo to go see snow. But in any case, I got to see it in Korea, so that's why I got this. Speaking of Korea, I got this one which had Korean food on it, so love that. French macaroons. This isn't Korean per se, but you know, Korean style type of food. And then it's got like toast. But there's more traditional things like kimchi or kimchi here, and then samgyeopsal. Also Japanese food because I had a lot of Japanese food there. I think I got it because of the tempura and then the sushi. I didn't get most of these, but I got some like kaiseki as well as omakase, so to complement that. And last but not least, from the Otono no Toukan series, in the adult picture diary series is this one. I get traumatized looking at this. I have a dentist appointment tomorrow as well. Just wanted to really document my journey and prepare for my future so then I could really take care of my teeth for the next 30 years. So it's traumatizing, but I thought it was really unique. There were some unique ones, some really interesting ones. All of these were 330 yen, and I believe I got, this one was $275. This is, I believe, from Daiso, and then something I love doing is taking a bath. Every time I go to Japan, that's one of my my goals, going into an onsen or taking a bath. So, got this. And this was really interesting and unique. I don't know if you could see it that well. But this one is sort of a retro series with a sort of a retro, I don't know why, it reminds me of sort of a British feel to it. But it says a multi-sticker that can be put on anything. Doesn't require ironing, but it has sort of that, not like a patch, not a patch feel, but it could serve as a patch. Look, isn't this amazing? It says washable. Okay. I don't know if I've ever seen a sticker that you could put on anything and you could actually wash it. It says that you could put it on cloth, even leather, glass, plastic, ceramic, wood, and metal. This one shows a fork and a spoon. So if I put this in If I run this through my dishwasher, would it survive? Kind of want to do a little testing. But it has all these instructions, no ironing required. So I wanted to try this. But I think this was like 1,000 yen. So I want to say maybe like $6 less. Speaking of interesting, I also got these 3D stickers. These were all the rage when I went there. All of the stationery stores had a whole stock of these. These must be really popular. This particular one was called Bon Bon Drop. And this is with the Snoopy. Unlike other stickers, dimensional stickers, this one is a hard surface. It doesn't actually, it's not flexing, it's not bouncing back. It's interesting sort of texture. I don't know what to do with these, but it's really cute. And I just really like that, like how unique this is. So I was in Otaru, which is about an hour train ride from the capital city, Sapporo. It was their 10th anniversary at the Snoopy Chaya. So it's like a tea store that's Snoopy-themed. And then it's like a kinen stamp. So it was a commemorative stamp that I could try. In order for you to try these, you had to purchase something at the store. And something that caught my eye is this. Ta-da! Isn't this beautiful? It's just a handkerchief or colored cloth that says Snoopy Chaya Otaru. Lots of beautiful colors, as well as the canal that signifies Otaru. So I thought this was beautiful, even though when I went it was snowing. Speaking of places I visited, for touristy places, I did also go to the Sapporo Beer Museum. That's lovely. It was so interesting because I went nearly in April, so at the end of spring, at the end of March. And I got to see a Christmas tree with like illumination all around. That was unbelievable that I got to see a Christmas tree, illumination, and snow in nearly April. That was unreal for someone who, you know, lived most of their life in California. Of course, we have Big Bear and, you know, we do have snow, but the sight of going to like a famous tourist spot, a museum in the middle of the city, seeing all that with the Christmas tree like right before April started was just unreal. It was insane. Anyways, after that tour, I debated what I should get. Obviously, I got beer. I got to try that. But I got stickers because, you know, it's in line with my character. I love stickers. So this one is the Sapporo Classic. I believe you could only get it in Sapporo or Hokkaido. It's I'm a big sucker for things that are like limited edition. If they had slapped on the words gente, I would giving it a second look. I don't think I'll purchase it without questioning, because, you know, my wallet and money. And this one because it had the original star. So loved this. This is the Kuroraburu and the Classic. Okay. I also visited High Tide store. Ta-da! So this is called a packing pouch. It's in the S size, a small size. Has a transparent front. So it's a window, inner partition, and then there's a pocket at the back. I've started using it for my chargers and things when I bring to work, but it's very, very useful. I'm regretting not getting multiple of these. And I don't know why, but there were so many different vibrant colors. Yellow just caught my eye. I just liked how it's noticeable. I thought that if I need to find things, it would just stand out. I won't go much detail about High Tide because it's such a popular and well-known brand, but I was really happy that I got to see it in Sapporo. Okay. For those of you who are in California, just letting you know, High Tide does have a Los Angeles store in downtown. Hehe. No Japanese trip is complete without getting weapons or these iron-on patches. This one is in the siiru, so it's got sticker backing, so I don't have to actually use it for cloth, but I could use it for like journaling as well. This one says gyoza, which means dumplings, and this one says firu, beer. And then combination of these two are something that I love getting in any Japan trip. My Japan trip won't be complete without getting some gyoza. So, wappen, gyoza, High Tide, things I love. This is probably the most famous item for book lovers. It's called ukanmuri clip. And what it does is it separates and it opens books. It's like a book. It's a book clip. Let's see. Bringing back my insert. So, you know how normal clips covers this part and it hinders you reading, but it lets it open and then it only covers minimal space. And I wanted the bigger version as well, but it always had like chiikawa or different shapes on it. And I love chiikawa, but I wanted more of a simple one. So the only one that I found that actually was just one color was the smaller size ones. And because I think I use it for more journaling, I thought this may just be enough. So I'm looking forward to using these instead of the other traditional clips because it showcases more surface than the traditional clips. Something else that I've seen on a lot of YouTubers is this tape cutter and template. It says mas template. So you could cut washi tape in different shapes right here. And then you could use just this as like a regular cutter. I just really like the concept of it. And as you already know, I'm a big fan of this color, blue. Before I move on to the actual washi tape, I want to see if it works well with other types of paper. Whoa, that works really well. Hey. All right. That works really, really well. But let's actually use masking tape. Okay. So one thing I noticed when I am journaling is that like I would tear with my hand and sometimes it's just not looking pretty. I don't think this is how you're supposed to. Look. So I'm done using it. I want it to end right here when the blue line ends. Precision work. Oh, perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. And then last but not least, let's test this out. Okay, maybe I'll draw a house. Not bad. I honestly got this for the color and then the cutter on the right. So satisfied. Satisfying purchase. Good purchase. Good. I've watched so many YouTube videos of different journalers who were journaling with Filofax, and I thought it was just something that I couldn't afford, and you know, like I have other journals that I love using, and so I was like, I don't really need it. And I was in a Japanese stationery store called Daimaru Fuji Central. I was hoping to find something that could replace my wallet. I've used the same wallet for about 8 years now. So I was like, oh, I want something that could replace my wallet. And then I just took a look. Took a look just to see what my options are with sort of a planner plus wallet options, just to see my price range. And then there's one thing that caught my eye. I wasn't particularly looking for Filofax. In fact, I was like, I don't care what brand it is, as long as it's within a price range, the style, and accessibility, durability, the feel to it, the design, as well as purpose, which was something that could serve a dual purpose, a wallet plus a planner / journal. So, comes to this beauty. It's like a system journal. Ta-da! Oh, so pretty. So let's take a look. Look at this color. Ta-da! It is the Leather Organizer Mini. And it's the Malden. And I believe this is the product that I've been seeing in a lot of journalers. Okay, let's open it up. So here are the dimensions and what's included in this. It's got the planner, tabs, some paper, not a lot, but to-do list, and the dimensions is as such. It says, brighten up your plans with our refills and accessories at filofax.com, and paper is from sustainable sources. So this is what it looks like. It's pretty much the size of my palm, slightly smaller than my entire hand, and I have pretty big hands. I believe this is an A8 size. It's embossed here. I believe so. Is this an A7? A8? Ooh, if I'm wrong, please tell me in the comments. And if you open this button, ta-da! Let me remove this. So I removed the backings, so now I could actually flip through. This one says, inspiring you to make the most of your day every single day. The organizer belongs to Chocho. The fact that it spells organizer with an S reminds me that this is not an American brand. Here, this one says Filofax Malden Mini Organizer, antiqued leather. This one is a coin wallet. It's small enough that it could probably fit a couple of quarters, maybe a couple of quarters and dimes, maybe a couple of pennies, but not too much. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 slots for cards. And one thing I noticed, actually tested this out before I purchased it, is I did a test to see how it would work and then see if it would slip. See? Staying in place. So my plan is to do my license here because I probably use it the most, and then one of my credit cards that I use the most, and then these 2 for cards that I don't use as much, but I should carry around with. And then obviously, ta-da, a pocket for all the cash. I do use cash pretty often, mainly to put gas in. I don't know if this is the case for where you live, but a lot of the gas stations here will give you a different price per gallon if you pay with debit card or credit card. I keep forgetting to bring my debit card, so I usually have cash on me. So that's one of the reasons, but sometimes like prefer to use cash just so that I know exactly how much I'm allowed to use. It gives me a limit, a budget that I have to follow, as opposed to using a credit card. I would just justify and go, if my budget was 35 and I use 40, I'm like, that's totally fine. But if I use cash, 35 is the maximum that I could use. So it gives me a reason to be more mindful of my usage. Anyway, something I did not get to test out is to see if it fits the size of an American bill, because I bought this in Japan. It's a British brand, I believe. So I brought my lucky $2 bill. Yay, good luck. Spreading some good luck to everyone who's watching this. Look how shiny this is. Okay, let's see if it fits. Fits perfectly. It's pretty deep. Huh, it stretches all the way. I love that. Okay. Ooh, nice. This is pretty awesome. Okay. All right. Something I noticed from the first glance was that instead of a 6-ring binder, this one's a 5-ring. So that's very different. I also noticed that these holes are extra tiny, just enough for these tiny little rings. I also like how this stretches. I don't know who could actually fit. Their handwriting would fit in here. But at the same time, I just look how compact it is. We could fit in a whole year's worth of plans here. It's got dotted lines, 4 tabs, and an address book. I don't know if I'll ever need any address books with my phone intact, but I could use this to write down maybe like important, not passwords, but maybe hints to passwords that I would only recognize. So that might be a good idea because there's quite a few pages. I would have preferred to have more lined paper, so like these free paper, than these address pages because I don't really know what to do with them. But, you know, I could always make more. Okay. Yeah, that's something that I'm not particularly pleased about is how they lift up. And this happens to all my binders anyways. You know, one thing that I did not realize was I bought this tiny little Uniball pen. Super cute. It's a 0.38. Not a big fan of thin lines, but I just really like this. This is a perfect size for my planner, so it would have looked something like this. Just like, look how perfect the size is. However, this does not fit. Not even a chance. I mean, technically I could just fit it in here or insert the clip. Like that. So I could do this. And I thought that maybe my, what's this called again? Kawiko Sport would actually work. And no dice. Ta-da! Kind of. But this is as far as it goes. So no dice. The only thing that actually fit out of the pens that I have are the Disney pens that are extra thin. But it's just too big, right? It kind of looks weird. It's protruding out on the other side, even though it's got Mickey ears. Until I find the perfect alternative to it. because again, I want to use this as my wallet, and it's okay if it gets, scratched up over the years because it's real leather, and I'm okay with, it showing its age. Hopefully it will live with me for years and years, and like all the scratches will be something that makes it unique. In any case, thank you so much for watching. I will continue with my Korean haul.